Hello. How you guys doing? Hey, what's up? My name's Samuel Leeds. Welcome back to my channel. I want to introduce you to a guy called Dan. He is absolutely smashing it in the property investment space with rent-to-rents. He's buying a whole bunch of houses. I think you're going to be really, really inspired and educated through this video because he's making a clean profit of £12,000 per month with just a few small handful of rent-to-rents, properties he doesn't even own. And in this video, he's going to be sharing exactly how he's done it and how you can do the same thing too. Dan, welcome to Winners on a Wednesday.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
So you joined the academy a couple of years ago.
That's right.
You're like the 2-year academy member.
Yeah, it was. I think the launch pad was in July.
Great.
July 2019 it was, yeah.
So just give us, Dan, a little bit of a backstory because we're going to get onto what you've achieved, how you've built up this little portfolio which is making a really good profit. But what was it that drew you to myself, to property in general, and how did this all get started?
Yeah, sure. So, well, I worked for the post office for 21 years and they made me redundant and I made the decision to leave the job. And at the time I was fighting professionally and I had a brick built gym in my garden. I was teaching personal training, I was teaching Thai boxing just on the side really, as well as my post office wages I was earning from there as well. And then when they made me redundant, I went into full-time Thai boxing coaching and I realised it's such a physical job what I do. I can handle it now, I can handle it then. For the next 10 years I'm absolutely fine, but looking into the future, it's a physical job. I needed to earn some money. Some money from another stream of income. I needed to get into something. I always had a passion for property. So yeah, after talking to Holly about what we wanted to do and stuff, we decided property was a good vehicle, So I just engulfed myself into books, property videos, YouTube videos, and that's where I come across you. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I come across you. So,
were you the postman that you don't want to piss off? The postman that's also a fighter as well.
Nah, I'm a soft as shit, mate. Yeah, no, I was a postman for 6 years, and then I went into the cash handling side of stuff. So I was the man with the helmet and the smoke and die box, going making other people rich, basically. Yeah. But it was a good job. I was happy. I was comfortable. I didn't dislike my job. It was good money. But then the redundancies come and I decided to take the plunge. It wasn't an easy decision.
So you went from being a postman to training people, martial arts, fitness, and then you thought, this is great, I'm making a living, but I'm not going to be able to do it forever physically, so I need to get into something else.
Yeah, exactly that.
You came down to the crash course in 2019.
I think Holly will have to remind me. It was about February 19. It was the beginning of the year. Done the crash course.
What was the crash course like?
It was brilliant. Yeah, it was brilliant. It took me a while to get my head around it. With everyone getting up and having a little dance on stage, and that me and Holly were like, "What's all this about?" But it was great. It was long days, but I learned so much, and I walked away feeling fired up. Like, this is definitely what I want to do. This is where I want to go. What
was it that made you take the plunge to going from the Property Investors Crash Course, which is a free training program, which just opens people's eyes, teaches them all the foundations? What made you then go, right, I'm going all in and joining the academy?
I'm one of them people, wouldn't I? I'm just, if I set my mind to say, if I make a decision, I go for it, and I just spoke to a lot of people at the crash course who are doing it and living and breathing it, and I could see people being successful, and I just thought, you know what, I'll go on to the next course. I think it was the DFE that I'd done next. I paid for the DFE. Holly and I had done the DFE. We've spent, I think it was
2 or 3 grand.
I think it was at the Champions, or I can't remember where it was. Yeah, but that's it. I don't know. I just felt like after the crash course, this is definitely. I knew I was interested in property, but then after that crash course, it kind of sealed it. I thought, yeah, you know what? I didn't realise I had all these options. I didn't realise I could refinance. I didn't realise I could get access to some of the funds. You know what I mean? I thought I was kind of out the game. Like, I wasn't earning much as a personal trainer. I thought it was all about you needed a lot of money. You know what I mean? But it weren't. So I was excited.
So what happened next?
Well, we've done the DFE.
Deal finding extravaganza.
Yeah, deal finding extravaganza. Holly was with me. We both learnt loads. We went home that night and we're doing scripts. We're driving home on the motorway. We're doing scripts. We're pretending we're talking to landlords and stuff like that. And I started to go around a few agents in my local town. I joined the academy at the DFE. Yeah. Sorry, that's what we've done. We joined the academy at the DFE, and we was excited. And I started going around my local agents in Watford. That's where I live. And didn't really get anywhere at first, do you know what I mean? But then I joined the academy and then I went to the rent-to-rent revolution in July, just after the launch pad. And
July 2019?
July 2019, yeah. And that's when I learned a little bit more about
rent-to-rent. What is a rent-to-rent?
Yeah, basically, which is what I'm doing. I'm basically paying the landlords their rent every single month. we agree on a 3-year term with like maybe a 12-month break clause. I have done in all my contracts. So we pay them their rent every month. Every single month, I pay all the bills. I've got a great maintenance team, cleaning team in the area. I've got a lot of things systemised now, and I basically run it on short-term lets. I do use OTAs like Airbnb, Booking.com, Trivago, VRBO, and whatnot. And I run it like a hotel. So guests come in, they check themselves in with a key safe. You know, they do what they do. They have a good time, and then they check out, and the cleaners go in. They make it look all nice again, and yeah, we run it like a hotel.
So basically, you give a guaranteed rent. A general rent, but then you put people in and you profit from the difference. Now, normally when people do that, and this is why I wanted you on a Wednesday, normally people make £500 to £1,000 per month per property. That's what we teach, right? We're like, right, here's what you do. We teach what to do. Generally speaking, people are making £500 to £1,000, and we'll say, you only need 3 or 4 of those, and you can replace your income. You got 2 or 3 of those, and the profits from them was ridiculous.
I know.
Like crazy.
I know. You know what? I'll be honest with you, I didn't set out to get a big 5-bedroom, £1.6 million townhouse for my first deal.
Yeah.
I didn't. I was out there looking for a 2-bed, 2-bathroom flat, you know, and I was going around Windsor and I was getting knockbacks for months, you know. I was getting told that you're wasting your time. We get people like you in every day. You know, you're wasting your time. The landlords ain't up for it. The leaseholds don't allow it, you know, and it can deflate you. But I kept going and kept going and kept going, and then I built a relationship with one particular agent, and I got a viewing, and I said to Holly, I've got a viewing, it's a shithole, I'm not going to take it, but I'm going to go anyway, because I can build a relationship with this agent, and that's what I've done, and me and this agent, we connected, and she could see my work ethic, she could see that I was genuine, and there was one day, I'll never forget it, it was chucking it down with rain, it was on a Tuesday, so I allow Tuesdays, I keep Tuesdays free now, so I can do my property investing, and it was a Tuesday, and it was chucking it down with rain, and I was like, nah, man, I can't be asked to go out. I've got no meetings, I've got no viewings. But then I had a proper word with myself, and I went to Windsor. I went to this agent. I said to the lady, look, I know you were going to call me if anything comes up, but you know, have you got anything? She goes, oh, do you know, I've got this house. And long story short, I went and viewed it, and I knew straight away, because of the location, I knew straight away it was going to work. You can see the castle, you can see the Thames. It's just undergone a full refurb. It couldn't not work. Yeah. But there's this element of doubting me because I ain't done it before. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, that was my first deal. And the roller coaster we went with that was unbelievable. Securing it, negotiating. It was up for $4,100 a month. It reduced down to 4, and I got it for $3,350. Nice. So I got really happy with what I got it for. And then we had issues with the council. They told me I needed an HMO license. And I'm like, no, I'm not running it as an HMO. And then the landlord didn't want to know anymore. She was, don't want an HMO, and I'm not running it as an HMO. No, I'm sorry, I'm not interested. So then I had to contact the council and get them to put it in writing that I don't need it. And then the landlord was back in, and then they said we needed planning. And I said, we don't. And they sent their guys round to do an inspection, and you know, they said everything was all right, fire safety and all that. And then we got it, and then it was the issues with the guarantor. They wanted a guarantor, and I reached out to another academy.
Why did they want a guarantor?
Well, because I'm a new business. You know what I mean? I couldn't personally guarantee it. It's a 1.6. The rent was.
Oh, it's so high.
I needed to be earning about 150 grand a year.
Oh, cool. And that's why, again, we teach. Yeah. We teach, find a studio or find it. But you went and did it like 10 times bigger.
And then I'm like, what do I do now? I reached out and found another academy member who had already got a couple of units, and I believed he could help me with the finances. And I said, right, we can't personally guarantee it. We need a guarantor. Can you get one? Yeah. And in the end, he couldn't get a guarantor. I found a guarantor, a friend of mine. He become our guarantor, you know, but then he wouldn't sign the paperwork. He said, I don't want them to see my bank statements. I don't want them knowing my finances. So he said, I can't do it, Dan. And then they wanted 6 months rent up front. So we had to get a third joint venture partner with the finances. So we didn't want to lose the deal. Yeah. And then even after we paid 6 months rent up front, they still wanted the guarantor, but they didn't want the proof of his earnings and his bank statements. So he was our guarantor.
So you had a lot of doors. But here's the thing though, Dan. A lot of people would have said, oh, it's a sign, it's not meant to be. Oh, the HMO license, the planning, the this. But you understood the rules. You're like, it's not a HMO. Yeah. I don't need planning. Council, you're wrong. This is the facts. This is because of your education, you're able to say that.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known otherwise. And I was confident as well. Anthony helped me as well. I phoned him up and he confirmed I was definitely right, and got all that cleared up. So we went through so many hurdles to secure that deal. It's unbelievable. And then when we got it, me and Holly we were celebrating. You know, it was our first deal. Well excited. And then we got it, and Holly done what she's amazing at, and she furnished it. Holly's like the creative side of the business. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She takes care of the marketing, the creative side. She's built a great Instagram page, and what she can do with interior designing is amazing. It's why we're so successful at the end of the day.
Well, it's great to have someone behind. I mean, I know she was the person that told you to join the academy in the first place. You know, she was like, do it.
At the DFE, she was like, Dan, that's a lot of money, babe.
Yeah.
Just do it, Dan. You'll smash it.
Good.
Couple of drinks as well. Yeah, let's do it. No regrets. No regrets.
So that first house, right? You don't own it. You're renting it.
Yeah.
You're paying
$3,350 for the first.
$3,350. It's a big flat. You can see Windsor Castle.
Not a flat, mate. It's a house.
Oh, it's a house. Sorry. It's a big house. You can see Windsor Castle. Prime spot. Amazing. $3,350. You guarantee to pay the landlord. Are you not stressed that you're not going to be able to get people in it, and you're going to have to pay the landlord the money anyway?
Initially, it was a worry. You know what I mean? But then, because even through lockdown, we've never lost money. Even through lockdown, we've been fortunate. Our first guest, listen to this, our first guest come from that agent who got me it. 5 months, $7,000 a month for 5 months. Our first guest.
So she stayed there for 5 months.
Yeah.
You're paying $3,300. She's paying you $7,000.
Yeah.
And you're making all that profit.
But we couldn't get off to a dream start. Couldn't get off to a better start.
It was worth the hassle.
100%.
How's that first deal doing now?
It's smashing it.
How much is it?
We've just had a couple from America. They were there for 9 months, paying $7,000 a month for 9 months.
Man,
you know, we had our cleaners go in every 2 weeks. They left it spotless.
How much profit is that then? Like $3,000 on that one deal?
Well, yeah, but what we've done is we provided a couple of cleans as well. It's about 2006.
Right.
Pure profit, taking away the maintenance and that as well.
But from one deal.
Totally.
And that's when they're staying there for months on end.
I know.
Crazy.
So
what did you think when that happened? What did you think when you got that guest and that money started coming in?
I was excited. It was a relief.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because it's a new venture. It's my first unit.
Yeah. Here's a question for you, Dan. If you hadn't seen all the other people winning in rent to rents, if you hadn't seen all the other academy members that were like, I'm doing it, would you have had the assurance to keep going when the estate agents were slamming the door in your face?
Probably not. I mean, I've got that personality. I don't just quit. Do you know what I mean? I'll keep going. going. It's the same as what I was saying earlier about my academic level. You know what I mean? I struggled to learn, but I knew I was going to get to where I wanted to get to, but it's just going to take me a bit longer because it takes me longer to get my head around things and understand things. Do you know what I mean? So, like, in answer to the question, I don't know. I probably wouldn't have given up, but mate, it was all against us. There was times I was thinking, it's just not going to happen, you know. Yeah. We had issues, and you know, when I just remember something else. When them inspectors did come round, where on the 4th floor, because it's over 4 floors, on the ensuite, there's a boiler and there's a water tank, and he says, all that wall, you've got to make it fireproof. It's going to be fireproof. So the landlady, she agreed, so she paid £1,500 to have it all fireproofed. Do you know what I mean? Because she met me and my business partner, and she interviewed us, and she asked us loads of questions, and she loved us. She was like,
here's something interesting though. That landlady, if she's watching this video, she might think, oh, I could just do it like that. But it takes so much knowledge and skill to be able to run it. You've got it on all these different online agents.
Yeah.
You've got all the systems and procedures to be able to take the bookings. You've learned, and it's a business.
Yeah.
It'd be like someone going, oh, you're running a restaurant and making all that money. Well, I'll just run a restaurant. Well, you kind of can't. You kind of need to know what you're doing. I don't know what you feel about that.
She was renting it out by the room before to some students, and they trashed it.
Right.
So her main concern was that the house is going to get wrecked. It's just, I think it's about 130 grand she'd spent on having it all done up.
Man.
And her main concern was, because it's Eton, you know, cup of cocoa and bed at 10, and everyone's, you know, like this. She was worried there's going to be disturbance. She was worried there's going to be, like, her house is going to get trashed. But then when she met us and we explained exactly how we're going to run it and how our cleaners are going to be in there 2 or 3 times a week, and if there's any damage, you know, our guests pay a deposit, they will pay for it, and we give it back to her in the same condition. She was relieved, and she let us. And she's just building another property right now in the same area, in the back garden, 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom. She rang me up and said, Dan, you can take that when it's done.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? So,
what was the rent-to-rent revolution like?
Well, that's what got me there in the end. You know, after the DFE, I was fired up. I was going around. I was making progress. But then after the rent-to-rent revolution, you just learn it a little bit more in depth, and it gave me that little bit more confidence to just go out there and and that's when I secured my first deal. I loved it. I enjoyed it. Really did.
What was the second property that you got?
The second one was another 5 bedroom. It's a detached house with a big drive for free. You can fit 6 of them little mini cars in it if you really wanted to, but again, it's a prime location. It's a 5-minute stroll into the centre
Of Windsor.
And it's got an amazing kitchen dining area. You walk in and you've got a living room, which we just made into a master ensuite bedroom. You know, what she's done with that room is unbelievable. It's amazing. And then you go into the kitchen and you've got a big kitchen diner. It's got a massive extension with Bluetooth speakers in it, all KitchenAid kitchen appliances. And that one was £3,500 a month rent. And the agent actually put me directly in touch with the landlord because he was like, I want to talk to this guy. You know, if I'm going to rent my house to him, I want to understand his business model. Yeah. And I'm not only that. You know, I'll put an offer in for 2.9. He goes, I want to talk to him about the price. And after a couple of negotiations and a couple of phone calls with him, we agreed on £3,000 a month rent for the whole 3 years. So we got a really good price on the rent. And what Holly done with this is with the interior design. It was like she'd learnt a lot from doing Eton. There's a few things in Eton she wasn't happy with. So when we went into this house, amazing. And then she launched the Instagram page, and we've had celebrities, footballers, influencers in there and everything. So it's more of a success than the first one, I'll be honest with you.
What?
We're actually charging a little bit more.
How can it be more successful than the first one?
It's just, I think it's what Holly's done with the designing.
How much is that one making?
We have people contacting us regularly. They want to do video shoots and filming and everything in there because it's.
How much over those? Have you got 3 rent-to-rents that are? I know you've got keys coming real soon. Yeah. But right now you've got 3 that are actually making money. Yeah. You've got more in the bag. Yeah, you've got more about to go live, but 3 of them running. Yeah. Those between the 3 of them. How much of cash flow have they brought in over the last couple of months?
Over the last couple, well, this is the thing I was talking to Ollie about this on the way up here. July and August, net profit between the 3 of 12 grand.
Nice.
Each per month.
So 24 grand.
24 grand for 2 months net
12
profit.
grand
profit. Oh no, I can't get my head around
on 3 properties is just ridiculous.
So the flats at about 95%, 90 to 95%. I was looking on Toki. Toki is the booking platform. It manages the calendars, and that tells you if you go into the dashboard, sort of like your occupancy rates and how much money you're bringing in.
So you didn't misread. It definitely isn't 1,200.
100%.
And also, you're about to pick up the keys to another rent-to-rent, which is even bigger.
That's putting ourselves out of our comfort zone because it's a different area, it's a different strategy. We're reaching out to a different sort of audience, a different kind of guests, people that are going to be staying for 1 month to 12 months. And Celeste, generally either people who are very well off or celebrities, footballers. We have a footballer unit next week. That's a converted barn. That's unbelievable.
I'll be staying there.
You wait till you see it, guys. I'll post it when it's done.
So what do you think? What would you say to those people that told you 18 months ago rent-to-rent doesn't work?
Well, the proof is in the pudding. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. There was certain people close to me that were a bit sceptical about it. They was because they don't understand it. Yeah. They're just like, well, hold on. So you want to rent? What if it's empty? But what if it's empty? That's what people worry about. What if it's empty? But obviously, we're taught to do our due diligence and work out, you know, what area is good and what area is not. We learn all that. Do you know what I mean? So I was confident with the areas I chose that it was going to work. Yeah.
It's not luck. It's not guesswork. Yeah. You do it. You go through. It's all formulas.
But now, at the beginning, I was unsure as well. When you listen to people who are quite negative, it worries you. But now I've been doing it for a while, and the results are there. I've seen the results, and like, at the moment, it's unbelievable. You know, it's been weird for the last year. We've got through it. We've made money. We haven't even lost money through the lockdown. We've managed to the landlady at Eton, bless her. She actually gave us like a rent reduction for 3 months through the first lockdown. She dropped it down to $1,500 a month, and we still made money through that period. And we paid her extra to say thank you. We give her an extra $500 and said thank you for that. You know, but we've
actually made money.
Yeah, it was a bit hairy, you know, but we got through it and built a business.
Because when lockdown first happened, you weren't even allowed to stay at hotels. Yeah. So it was crazy.
We were lucky because that family that was in there for 5 months, the first guests, they was in there because they was ready to move into their new house.
Right.
And that got delayed because of the lockdown. So they got stuck.
It always gets delayed.
They got stuck in there, you know what I mean?
On the Rent-to-Rent Revolution, we teach, everyone thinks service accommodation is tourists. No, it's business contractors, it's relocators, it's professionals, and it's tourists. But when you know your market, you know, so that's awesome. Also, you've made a lot of good friends as well. It's not just you that's smashing it, you've made some really good friends. Yeah,
look, when I got into, one of the reasons why I joined the Academy, I'll be honest with you, I mentioned earlier about how I could be a bit thick at times. You know, I never wanted to go alone in property. I'm a people person, and I knew I wanted to work with other people. Because I enjoy working with people and sharing the success and the ups and the downs with somebody else. And it takes the responsibilities as well, half in the responsibilities as well. But there's certain things I'm not confident with, you know. Certain things like the back end stuff. Holly helps me massively with working my way around a PC and whatnot, and just general stuff I'm not that confident with doing. So I like to work with people. You know, I've got my strengths, they've got theirs, and when you come together with someone else, I think it works. You know, and also the deals I've got up north, I'm working with people who live in the area as well up north. I'm down south. So yeah, I never wanted to get into property alone. I always wanted to do it with other people.
Yeah,
personally.
I think as well, environment's really important. You mentioned about when you're hearing from negative people, it can get into your head a bit. But when you're around positive people, it kind of lifts you up.
Yeah.
And I think that part of the academy, it's about being around people that are winning. I mean, you were on the same launchpad as, who were you on the launchpad with? Chris Japp.
Yeah, Chris Japp and Patrick and Emma Callan and Thomas Atkinson, Callum Matheson. You know, we was all that was.
And they're all financially free.
Yeah, I'm the last one on the winners on a Wednesday.
Right, they're all financially free. They're all doing really well. What would you say to somebody that was kind of like, you know, having that little voice? We talk about the little voice. It's like, oh, you can't do this. Or when you're having estate agents shut the door in your face and say, oh, everyone's coming and asking for this, we don't do it. It can be really easy to tell yourself, I need to stop now. Now's the time to quit. Now's the time to give up. Yeah. What would your advice be?
Well, you need a decent why, I think, as well. Do you know what I mean? It's like you've mentioned before. If you're just getting in it to make the money, then you'll quit easier. You know, Holly and I, we've got some reasons. Oh, I'll get a bit emotional.
That's good, man. That's cool. What's your reason for doing this?
Well, a lot of it is because of the gym. You know what I mean? Because of the gym, and I know, like,
it's good,
with the gym. Obviously, I know I need to find another source of income, don't I? Yeah. So we just want to have a good life. We just want to have a good life. We want to, I don't know, we've got nieces and nephews that we can look after, our family that we want to look after. You know, that's kind of like my why. So I've got a good reason.
Yeah, your nieces, your nephews.
Yeah, I've got a good reason to go out there and just go through the nose and think, do you know what? You ain't broke my nose, you ain't broke me rib.
Yeah.
I can just move on to the next one. And for those people that are just getting started, you've got to be able to just go for that. No, I read that book, go for no. And, you know, you've got to be able to just go for it. And you've got to stay positive. And it is a numbers game. It is 100% a numbers game. You
used to fight a lot. And you used to have to step into the ring or the cage or whatever and have to fight.
Yeah.
And
that petrified me, but yeah.
Right, yeah. But you told me that when you had to go into an estate agency, you used to think, you know what? At least I'm not going to leave here with broken bones or a black eye, broken nose, and you'd walk in for that. Yeah. And for me, that was quite inspiring and motivating because everybody, even myself, yourself now, sometimes you might think, I don't want to do that out of fear, but actually. What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah. Do you know, it is fear as well. And one of the things why I used to get so nervous fighting was because I didn't care about getting hurt. Pain just does not bother me. It's about looking like a dickhead. It's about getting knocked out in front of everyone and looking like a wally. So there's a lot of people out there that are afraid of making a fool of themselves, and they're afraid of doing something and looking like an idiot or whatever. You know, people that are afraid of losing money, obviously I can understand that. No one wants to lose money. You know what I mean? Like, people are scared to make the commitment because they might lose money. But if you get the training and you're confident in what you do and you've got the right people around you, you're minimising them risks. Do you know what I mean? But yeah.
What is it that kept you going through that initial sort of 3-month hardship of getting that first deal? What is it that kept you going?
I've just got that personality. Do you know what I mean? I've just got that. I'm not going to give in because it was. I've been close so many times. I've been very close. Like there was an opportunity in Watford. A brand new block of 2 apartments were built in Watford, and I was so close to securing them. You know, when you said don't let your emotions take over and things like that. Well, I was emotionally attached to this building, and it didn't happen because they wanted too much rent, and I had to walk away. You know, so I was so close, and I knew. You know, it's light at the end of the tunnel. I'm going to get there. Yeah. You know, I knew I was going to get there. I just knew it. But when you get that first deal, it's ecstasy. It's amazing. It's like, and then when you get your first one, it's so much easier to get more because like I can go into agencies now, and I can sort of say, you know, this is my company, this is my Instagram page, this is what I do. And now, for example, we've got all we run a tight ship now, you know, because we've had parties, we've had issues, we run such a tight ship now. I explain to them how we work and how we do everything paid by link, and we've got the security cameras and we've got the sound monitors and how we've got our security team nearby and how we monitor everything and how we ensure that we don't get parties and now I can explain that to agents. They're like, this guy knows his stuff. Do you know what I mean? So it becomes easier. It's that first deal, getting it over the line.
And you can't necessarily figure out, I always say, don't try and figure out the XYZ until you've walked the ABC. You can't know everything about everything until you've actually done it. We teach you all the basics. We teach you enough to go and do it. But then the real learning comes into place when you do have a party. You think, oh no, how am I gonna, you know, the real nitty gritty. You've also got a whole bunch of other projects, which we're going to talk about at a future interview, but you've refinanced your house. Talk to me about that.
Well, I was off the mindset of paying off your mortgage. I'm one of these people, I've never really been in debt. I don't like owing money. And if in the few times in the past I've owed money, I've done whatever I can fast to get myself out of debt. And to me, a mortgage was just a debt. And I wanted to get it paid off. And my dad was saying, son, you want to be mortgage free, you know, as well. So I just done everything I could for years, overtime. Like, you know, every time I got made redundant, that went straight off my mortgage. So I was just wanted to be mortgage free. And then when I went to the course and I found out about, you know, refinancing your house, what's the point in paying off your mortgage if you're sitting on a 400 grand house, but you're still struggling to pay the bills, you know? You'd be better off, I would have been better off £500 a month. £500 a month. Whereas if I can pull my money out and invest it wisely into property, you know, the strategy that I'm doing is I'm putting the money in, and then at the end of it, when I refinance, I'll get majority of my money out. One of the deals, I'm getting more than my money out, believe it or not. And then you keep using the same pot of money to recycle your money.
So now
build
then,
up your portfolio.
You've refinanced your house. You're using that money to do the buy, refurbish, refinance strategy, which is another thing that we teach on the academy. And you're putting it in, pulling it out, putting it in, pulling it out. How many properties are you buying at the moment?
I've got 2. I've just completed last week on one.
Congrats.
Which is a derelict 7-bedroom property at the moment. We're making into a 6-bedroom, all en suite, converting the basement into a flat, splitting the titles and converting that into a 2-bedroom flat. Another one in Darlington, which is at the moment it's a derelict 4 flats. We're turning that into a 7-bedroom luxury HMO as well, focusing on like the higher end market, you know, working professionals. So the Darlington one's looking good. We're going to be leaving a little bit of money in there, not a lot. Maybe 10 grand each, but the Burnley one, we're pulling our money out on that, and maybe even we'll see in the next video. But I don't want to jinx it, but we're looking at pulling out a nice chunk as well.
Absolutely, you know what I mean? Awesome. So it's going to be effectively a free house and some.
Yeah, they will be generating between the two of them, conservatively £1,500 a month for me.
That's brilliant.
You know what I mean? So
excellent.
I'm well excited about that. My first sort of like projects I'm actually purchasing. Do you know what I mean? So,
how do you feel right now, looking back on all you've done over the last couple of years?
Just being here, I don't know. I'm excited. I'm buzzing. It's a bit surreal, to be honest with you, because I don't know. Like I say, Holly and I, our lifestyles ain't changed. You know, I know we're doing well with the SAs. Our lifestyles have changed in the way that we're focusing on property a lot more, obviously, but financially. The money that I'm making within their businesses is staying in their businesses, and we're building it and we're growing it. Eventually, we're just going to keep reinvesting it. You know,
you're putting all the money back into growing your portfolio.
I'm happy doing what I'm doing at the moment. I enjoy teaching people Thai boxing. It's a passion. I enjoy it.
Right.
You know, so I don't want to give that up just yet. And so the fact that I'm here now, you know, it's only the other day really. I was having a little tally up and thinking, blimey, you know, that's doing all right. Doing all right. And once these HMOs and the barn kick in, you know, that's mad. Holly's going to be sort of at the moment. Holly's works full time in recruitment, and she's going to be. The plan is to leave the recruitment and work on our businesses full time. So that's going to free up more time for me as well. You know, I seem to spend a lot of time on guest replies and emails and stuff like that. It can take me 10 minutes to send an email, whereas Holly will be like, gone. You know what I mean?
I think the thing is as well, everybody's in property for a different reason, with a different goal. Your reason wasn't, I want to get out of my job as soon as I can. You love what you do. Your reason was, I can't do this forever, and I want to be in a position where financially I can stop when I need to, and I can continue looking after my family. I can continue living the life that I want to live. And I think what you've done is absolutely amazing. I'm really impressed.
Cheers,
and
mate. No, I appreciate
it's great to have you as a student, and also to know you as a friend. And I'm looking forward to visiting some of your properties as well. I'm going to be coming out. Maybe I'll be staying as a guest in some of these rent-a-rents, because they sound fabulous.
More than welcome.
What would you say? How would you summarise your experience through the academy over the last couple of years?
Yes, it's been amazing. Like I say, you've highlighted a lot of the facts today. You know, I've made some great friends, and because me being me, you know, I always wanted to build relationships with people that are where I want to be. You know, so I've always at school and college I copied people. You know, I was always that kid like, what's the answer for number 4? Because I couldn't work it out myself. So having a group of people around me that I can bounce off and I can ask questions and I can learn from, you know, that's worth the fee in itself. Yeah, it really is. And obviously giving me the confidence to refinance my house I've worked for all them years and be able to go out there and invest it into property, you know. Yeah, I've got no regrets of, if I could rewind and turn back the time, I'd do it again. Yeah, 100%.
Awesome.
Yeah, for me it's worked.
Well, massive congrats, and look forward to seeing you on Winners Wednesday Part 2 in about 6 months.
Yeah, man.
I'm sure that'll happen soon.
Look forward to it.
Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do me a favour and smash the like button. Also, drop a comment below. What did you like best in the interview? If you want to see more videos like this, you can check out an entire playlist up right here. You can subscribe to the channel over here. And if you want to join me at the Property Investors Crash Course, it's completely free. Let's meet, let's teach you to do the same thing too. And you can do that below. The link is in the description. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace out.